Imagine walking through your day, lost in thought or simply going about your routine, when someone stops you, smiling, and says, "You look so young." Maybe you've heard it more than once. You chuckle, thank them politely, and move on. It's a sweet compliment, sure. But what if it's also something deeper? What if behind that passing praise lies a spiritual truth? A truth that whispers, "Your glow is not just skin deep. This is not a tale of skincare routines or anti-aging secrets. This is an invitation, a gentle unveiling of what truly makes someone appear ageless. It's not the wrinkle-free skin, not the youthful figure, but something infinitely more profound. The light of the soul, shining through." Today, we're going to explore 8 spiritual truths, deep-rooted, radiant qualities, that might explain why your presence defies time. Let's journey inward and uncover the real source of that glow that others can't help but notice. 1. The wisdom of an old soul. Some people carry an energy that feels ancient, quiet, steady, and deeply rooted. While others react quickly to life's chaos, these individuals move with a calm presence, as though they've seen it all before. They are often described as old souls, not because of age, but because of an inner wisdom that transcends time. This wisdom isn't learned from books, it's lived. It shows in the way they respond with patience instead of panic, with empathy instead of judgment. They recognize that every storm eventually passes, and this quiet knowing anchors them through life's uncertainties. Over time, this inner calm becomes a form of protection. It softens the wear of stress and gently shields the body from the aging effects of emotional strain. Their peace becomes visible, in their eyes, in their voice, in the way they carry themselves. That is the secret glow of an old soul, timeless, steady, and deeply beautiful. 2. Connection with the living earth. There's a quiet magic that comes from being in tune with nature, a kind of ancient rhythm that resets the spirit. For those who seem to glow effortlessly, this connection is often the unseen source of their radiance. They don't just admire nature, they align with it, breathing in its calm and moving with its gentle pace. When you walk through a forest or sit beside a flowing stream, something within you shifts. The rush of the world fades, replaced by a stillness that feels sacred. Those who remain close to nature carry this stillness within them, allowing it to soothe their spirit and balance their energy. In nature's presence, stress dissolves and the body remembers how to relax. That deep, natural harmony begins to reflect outward, through clearer eyes, softer expressions, and lighter steps. Their youthful glow isn't cosmetic. It's a reflection of being deeply rooted in something eternal. 3. The sacred power of empathy. Empathy is a sacred gift, an open doorway to the hearts of others. Those who carry it don't just listen, they feel. They absorb emotions like sunlight on skin, allowing the sorrow, fear, and joy of others to move through them. But rather than being overwhelmed, they transform what they receive. True empaths alchemize pain into compassion. They carry no resentment, no lingering bitterness. Instead, they release what they feel, allowing their hearts to remain soft and unburdened. This constant emotional renewal protects them from the weight of negativity that often dulls a person's spirit. Over time, this gentle resilience becomes visible. Their presence feels healing, their energy light. It's not just their kindness that stands out. It's the clarity of a soul that refuses to grow hard. In a world often filled with noise and numbness, their empathy is a quiet radiance. And that radiance is what keeps them beautifully ageless. 4. Inner wisdom that anchors the spirit. There's a quiet strength found in those who possess deep inner wisdom, a calm that doesn't waver in the face of life's storms. These individuals aren't driven by urgency or fear. Instead, they see the bigger picture, guided by a steady sense of purpose and understanding. This kind of wisdom isn't loud. It doesn't need to prove itself. It shows in the way someone listens without interrupting, in how they choose stillness over reaction. They know that all things, joy, sorrow, even hardship, move in cycles, and with time, clarity always returns. Because of this perspective, they carry less stress. their minds are lighter, and their bodies follow. While others are consumed by worry, the wise remain rooted. And in that grounding, there is a serenity that softens their presence. This inner balance becomes visible, a kind of beauty not shaped by age, but sculpted by peace. It is timeless, and it glows from within. 5. Kindness. The light that never ages. Kindness is one of the most powerful forms of beauty. Quiet, humble, yet profoundly radiant. It doesn't demand attention, but it lingers in the heart long after the moment has passed. Those who lead with kindness seem to carry a certain light, one that softens their presence and warms everyone they encounter. This light isn't born from perfection, but from choice. The daily decision to forgive, to help, to love without condition. When someone releases bitterness and lets go of judgment, their spirit becomes lighter. That emotional freedom creates a glow that no mirror can fully capture. Kindness doesn't just uplift others, it heals the giver. It dissolves the tension that ages the heart and relaxes the mind into peace. Over time, that peace shapes a presence that feels untouched by the weight of years. In every smile, every gentle gesture, the kindness within becomes visible. A timeless radiance that speaks louder than words ever could. 6. The grace of adaptability. Life rarely moves in a straight line. Plans change, seasons shift, and the unexpected becomes a constant. Those who seem to remain vibrant through it all often share one quiet superpower: adaptability. Rather than resisting change, they move with it, like a river flowing around rocks instead of crashing against them. Adaptable souls don't hold tightly to how things should be. They release rigid expectations and open their hearts to possibility. In doing so, they conserve energy, reduce stress, and create space for joy to flourish, even in uncertainty. This gentle flexibility doesn't mean weakness. It reflects deep inner strength. It takes courage to surrender, to trust that each twist in the path holds purpose. And that trust becomes visible. It's seen in the relaxed shoulders, the easy laughter, the presence of someone at peace with life's rhythm. Adaptability, at its core, is grace in motion. And that grace keeps the spirit light, and the face radiant. 7. The fire of positivity. In a world often shadowed by doubt and difficulty, there are those who choose to carry light. Their optimism isn't naive, it's powerful. It's a conscious choice to see beauty in brokenness, to hold on to hope even when the path is unclear. This inner fire, positivity, is what keeps their spirit bright and their presence magnetic. Positivity doesn't mean ignoring pain. It means moving through it with the belief that something good still lies ahead. Those who nurture this mindset radiate a kind of joy that uplifts everyone around them. Their laughter is sincere, their energy contagious, their perspective refreshing. This outlook becomes more than a habit. It becomes healing. It softens stress, lightens the heart, and creates a vibrant energy that reflects outward. You see it in their smile, hear it in their voice, and feel it in their presence. Positivity, when rooted in truth, doesn't just brighten the day, it keeps the soul forever young. 8. Living with purpose. There's a distinct light in the eyes of those who live with purpose, a quiet fire that doesn't flicker with age. Purpose gives life meaning, direction, and momentum. It fuels the heart with something greater than routine. It transforms even ordinary moments into meaningful steps on a deeper journey. Those who walk with purpose don't drift. They rise each day with intention, guided by a calling that stirs their soul. Whether it's to serve, create, teach, or simply love well. This inner drive energizes them, giving their life a pulse that keeps the spirit awake and the body vibrant. Purpose has a way of renewing us from within. It provides resilience in difficulty, clarity in confusion, and joy in the everyday. That passion becomes visible in their posture, their words, their glow. They don't chase youth, they embody life. And that aliveness becomes their true, enduring beauty. So if you've ever wondered why people say you look younger than your age, Perhaps now you see, it's not just about appearance. It's the kindness you offer, the wisdom you carry, the peace you radiate, and the purpose that lights your path. True beauty isn't found in the mirror. It's felt in your energy, seen in your presence, and known in the way you live. Your glow is a reflection of the timeless qualities within you, a light that no number can define. Thank you for being here, for opening your heart to these spiritual truths. If this message touched something deep within you, we invite you to subscribe to our channel. Together, let's keep nurturing the light inside and continue walking this journey of soulful discovery. Stay radiant, stay rooted, and remember, the world needs your light. Have you ever felt different? Not just unique in your interests or talents, but deeply different. Like the rhythm of life beats differently in your soul. Perhaps, in the quiet moments of solitude, you've sensed an unseen presence gently nudging you, reminding you that your journey holds a deeper purpose. If you've ever had that unmistakable inner whisper urging you to look beyond the surface, you might be one of the rare few, the chosen ones. In every era, across every culture, there have always been individuals who walk a path that others cannot see. They are often misunderstood, even isolated, but they shine with a light the world cannot ignore. These are the ones marked by something divine, something extraordinary. Today, we're going to uncover 10 powerful spiritual signs that often mark a soul chosen by higher forces. As we explore each one, allow yourself to reflect deeply. You may just discover that you are far more powerful, more called, and more spiritually aligned than you ever imagined. Sign 1. Unexplainable synchronicities. The language of the universe. There are moments in life that feel strangely perfect, too timely, too precise to be mere coincidence. For the chosen ones, these moments happen often. They're called synchronicities, and they serve as subtle signs that the universe is in conversation with your soul. You might be thinking of someone out of the blue and just then they call. Or a rare symbol appears repeatedly, in books, on signs, even in dreams, until its deeper meaning becomes impossible to ignore. These experiences feel magical, but they are more than that. They are markers of alignment. For those on a higher spiritual path, synchronicities appear when something important is unfolding. They are quiet nudges from the divine, steering you toward truth, healing, or clarity. Over time, you begin to recognize these moments as part of a larger tapestry. They remind you that you are not wandering aimlessly. You are being gently guided, step, by something greater. Sign 2. Heightened empathy. Feeling the world in your bones. Being chosen often means carrying more than your own emotions. It means sensing the heartbeats of others as if they were your own. This is the gift and the burden of heightened empathy. You don't just notice someone's sadness, you feel it, heavy and real. Their joy becomes your joy, their pain, your ache. In crowded spaces, this can become overwhelming. The weight of unspoken thoughts, silent struggles, and hidden wounds floods your senses, sometimes without warning. But this empathy isn't limited to people. Many chosen souls feel deeply connected to animals, plants, and even spaces. A wilting flower may stir sorrow in your chest. A distressed animal may draw you in like a magnet. This connection isn't imagined. It's intuitive, spiritual, and very real. Though it can be draining, this empathy is also a sacred gift. It gives you the power to comfort, to understand without words, and to heal simply by being present. The world feels deeply because you feel deeply, and in that lies your strength. Sign 3. Vivid prophetic dreams, messages from the beyond. For many chosen ones, nightfall marks not an end, but a beginning. While the world sleeps, their spirit awakens, stepping into a dream realm rich with meaning and mystery. These dreams are not vague or forgettable. They're vivid, emotionally charged, and often linger long after waking. You might wake with a racing heart, a clear memory, or a deep sense that something important just happened. And more often than not, it did. Prophetic dreams can show you places you've never visited, until you do. They echo future conversations, unlock buried emotions, or bring messages through symbols, signs, or even loved ones who've passed on. These aren't random scenes. They are sacred messages, whispers from a higher realm, wrapped in the language of imagery and feeling. To dream like this is to live between two worlds. And for the chosen, both are equally real, equally meaningful. Sign 4. Communication with spirit guides. You are never alone. There are times when you sense a quiet presence nearby, gentle, calming, and undeniably real. It's not fear you feel, but peaceful. For many chosen ones, this is the first sign of connection with a spirit guide. These guides aren't figments of the mind. They are wise, unseen companions assigned to support your journey. You may first notice them in meditation, prayer, or silence, a thought that brings clarity, a feeling that you're not alone. As your awareness deepens, so does the connection. You might begin to notice symbols, repeating numbers, or sensations that seem to arrive right when you need them most. Some guides walk with you for a lifetime, others appear during key moments of growth. This sacred bond doesn't require perfection, just openness. And when you truly listen, you'll discover you've never been walking this path alone. Sign 5. Seeing auras. The colors of the soul. Some chosen ones possess a rare and beautiful gift, the ability to see what lies beyond the surface. They see auras, the subtle energy fields that surround all living beings. At first, it might appear as a soft glow or a flicker of color around someone's body. But with time, it becomes more vivid. Colors tied to emotions, health, and even spiritual state. A vibrant blue may signal calm wisdom, a fiery red, intense energy, a murky gray, hidden pain. These colors are not just visual. They are emotional signatures, revealing what words often cannot express. To see auras is to perceive the unseen truth in others. It brings both insight and responsibility. In crowded spaces, the swirl of energies can be overwhelming, but with grounding, this gift becomes a powerful tool for healing and connection. Through this lens, chosen ones see the soul, not just the skin, and in that vision, they offer light. Sign 6. Inexplicable physical sensations. The body awakens. For the chosen ones, spiritual awakening often begins in the body. Long before the mind understands, the body feels. You may experience strange, unexplainable sensations, tingling in your hands, warmth in your chest, pressure on your forehead, or sudden waves of energy flowing through your spine. These aren't random. They are signs that your energy centers, your chakras, are activating. Some feel these shifts during meditation or moments of deep emotion. Others experience them in nature or during sudden bursts of clarity. You might feel a flutter in your heart when truth is spoken, or a chill when entering a spiritually charged space. These sensations aren't cause for fear. They are confirmations. Your spirit is waking up, and your body is responding. To feel this way is to be alive in a deeper sense. The physical becomes a gateway to the spiritual. And in that awakening, you begin to walk your path with greater awareness, guided from within. Sign 7. Repeating numbers, angelic whispers and digits. Why does 1111 keep showing up? Could it be more than coincidence? Not a coincidence, but a quiet nudge from the universe. Or notice the same number sequence, 222, 444, 777, following you everywhere? For the chosen ones, these aren't coincidences. They are messages, gentle whispers from the divine, delivered in numbers. Each repeating sequence carries meaning. 111 may signal a new beginning. 333 might remind you of spiritual alignment. 555 often points to transformation ahead. These numbers tend to appear in moments of doubt, decision, or awakening, as if the universe is saying, "You're not alone. Keep going." Over time, chosen souls develop an inner sensitivity to these signs. They begin to understand that numbers are more than math. They're spiritual codes, woven into everyday life. When you start to notice these patterns, don't ignore them. Pause. Reflect. You are being guided, quietly, constantly, by a language older than words, and as precise as light itself. Sign 8. Deep connection to nature. Earth as sacred teacher. For many chosen ones, nature isn't just a place, it's a presence. There's a quiet, sacred bond that connects their spirit to the earth, the trees, the sky. Time spent in nature doesn't just refresh them, it restores them, as if the wind itself is whispering wisdom only their soul can hear. You might feel a deep love for animals, or an instinctive desire to protect forests, oceans, and all living things. Even plants may respond to your presence, thriving under your care, as though they recognize you. In moments of stillness, you may sense the heartbeat of the earth, or feel messages riding the breeze. Nature becomes your sanctuary, your teacher, and your mirror. This connection isn't random. It's a reminder that you, too, are part of creation. That the divine speaks not only in dreams or visions, but through sunlight, through soil, and through the sacred silence between the trees. Sign 9. Sense of greater purpose. A calling you cannot ignore. From a young age, many chosen souls carry a quiet but persistent feeling. I'm here for something more. It's not about fame or fortune. It's about meaning. Even in moments of confusion or hardship, there's an unshakable sense that your life has purpose, that you were meant to impact the world in a way only you can. This inner calling may not come with clear instructions, but it whispers in your decisions, your dreams, your restlessness. Ordinary paths may feel suffocating. Shallow conversations may drain you. You crave depth, truth, and alignment with something greater than yourself. For the chosen, this purpose isn't about personal gain. It's about service, healing, awakening, uplifting others through your unique gifts. And even when the road feels unclear, that inner pull won't let go. Because it's not just a desire, it's a divine assignment. One that's been woven into your soul since before you were born. Sign 10. Spiritual crises and awakening. Fire before flight. For many chosen ones, awakening doesn't begin in light. It begins in darkness. Before stepping into purpose, they pass through seasons of pain, loss, isolation, confusion, or emotional collapse. These spiritual crises feel like the breaking of everything, but in truth, they are the unfolding of who you really are. You may have questioned everything, your beliefs, your worth, even your place in the world. But that collapse wasn't an end. It was an invitation. Like the phoenix, you had to burn before you could fly. Through this fire, illusions fall away. What remains is your truth, your resilience, and a soul forged by flame. You begin to see with new eyes, love with deeper compassion, and rise with purpose you couldn't access before. Spiritual crises are not punishments, they are initiations. And for the chosen, they mark the moment when life stops being ordinary and starts becoming divine. If any of these signs stirred something within you, trust this. Your presence here is no coincidence. You are part of something greater, called to awaken, to heal, and to shine. Your journey may not look like anyone else's, but it is sacred, powerful, and needed. Thank you for walking this path with me today. If this message spoke to your soul, please consider subscribing to this channel. Your presence here matters, and together, we'll continue exploring the beauty, depth, and purpose of your spiritual journey. Have you ever felt like you were standing on the edge of a breaking point, your heart heavy, your prayers unanswered, and your soul quietly asking, God, do you even see me? Maybe you've poured your heart out in the stillness of the night, begging for a breakthrough, only to be met with what feels like silence. You try to stay strong, you try to trust, but deep down, you wonder if the miracle you're hoping for is ever going to come. If that's you right now, if your spirit is weary and your faith feels fragile, know this: you are not alone. Many of God's greatest miracles were born in the darkest, most desperate moments. The truth is, God often works in silence. He moves in ways we cannot see, crafting miracles behind the scenes, often just when we feel like giving up. In today's message, we're going to dive deep into 5 powerful signs that God is preparing a miracle for you. These signs might not always be dramatic or obvious, but if you're paying attention, you'll see the fingerprints of God all over your life. And to bring these signs to life, we'll explore some of the most powerful, moving stories in the Bible. Stories of pain, waiting, hope, and breakthrough. Because miracles don't just happen in ancient times. They're happening today, all around us, and they could be unfolding in your life right now. The first sign that a miracle is on its way is this. You begin to feel a deep, undeniable sense of surrender. Now, surrender doesn't mean giving up. True surrender means letting go of your need to control everything and placing your situation completely in God's hands. It's the moment when you finally admit, I can't do this on my own, and I don't have to. Let's go back to the story of Moses and the Israelites at the Red Sea. Picture the scene. Pharaoh's army is closing in from behind, and the vast, impassable sea stretches out in front of them. The people panic. They cry out in fear. But Moses, standing between an angry army and an impossible sea, does something profound. He surrenders. He stops trying to lead in his own strength and instead listens to God. And what happens? God parts the sea. The very thing that looked like a dead end became the path to freedom. God often waits for us to surrender, not because He needs our permission, but because He wants our trust. Your surrender is the soil where miracles grow. So if you've come to the end of yourself, if you're finally saying, God, I don't know how, but I trust you, then take heart. That's the first sign. You're right where you need to be for something miraculous to unfold. The second sign that a miracle may be coming is the appearance of small, unexpected blessings. What many call breadcrumbs from heaven. Have you ever had one of those days when you're on the brink of losing hope, and then suddenly, almost out of nowhere, something happens that reminds you that God is still with you? Maybe a friend sends you an encouraging message. Maybe a financial provision shows up just in time. Maybe a song plays on the radio that speaks directly to your heart. These aren't coincidences. These are divine whispers, gentle reminders that God is moving. Think about Ruth, the Moabite widow. She had every reason to feel abandoned. Her husband was gone. She had left her homeland, and she was now living in a foreign land. But day by day, as she faithfully gleaned leftover grain in the fields, small blessings began to appear. A kind word here, a bit of favor there. And eventually, she met Boaz, and her entire future changed. Sometimes God doesn't open the floodgates all at once. Sometimes He leaves breadcrumbs along the path, inviting us to follow Him step by step. If you've started noticing these little blessings, even in the middle of your struggle, don't overlook them. They're signs that something bigger is coming. The third sign is subtle but powerful. You begin to experience a shift in your perspective. You start to see your problems differently. The pain you're facing no longer looks like punishment. It starts to feel like preparation. You begin to ask, what is God teaching me through this? Instead of, why is this happening to me? This mindset shift is evidence that the Holy Spirit is working in your heart. Let's talk about Joseph, sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused and imprisoned for years. It would have been easy for him to grow bitter. But instead, Joseph chose to see his suffering through the lens of God's purpose. When he finally faced his brothers again, after years of hardship, what did he say? You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. That's perspective. That's transformation. And it's one of the clearest signs that God is up to something miraculous. If you've started seeing your situation through new eyes, if you're choosing faith over fear, growth over grumbling, then rejoice. Your spirit is aligning with God's plan, and that's a sign that breakthrough is near. The fourth sign is one of the most comforting and mysterious of all. You begin to feel a strange sense of peace in the midst of chaos. It's a peace that doesn't make sense, a calm that settles your heart, even when everything around you is falling apart. This is what the Apostle Paul described in Philippians 4:7. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Let me tell you a modern-day story. A woman battling cancer sat in a hospital room, hooked up to machines, facing uncertainty every day. Yet she spoke with such peace, such trust in God's goodness, that nurses began asking her, "How are you so calm?" Her answer? "Because I know I'm not alone." That's the kind of peace that only comes from God. Think also of Jesus in the storm, asleep in the boat while his disciples panicked. The winds howled, the waves crashed, but Jesus rested. Why? Because he knew who was in control. If you're feeling a deep, quiet peace, even if your circumstances haven't changed, don't ignore it. That peace is a sign that God is with you, and your miracle may be closer than you think. Finally, the fifth sign is this. You start hearing the same message of hope over and over again, from different sources. Maybe you hear it in a sermon, then a friend says something similar, then you read a verse in your devotional that speaks the same truth. It's as if God is orchestrating the voices around you to speak directly to your heart. This isn't a coincidence, it's confirmation. God speaks in patterns. When he wants to get your attention, he'll repeat himself until you can't help but notice. Think of Samuel as a child. He heard God's voice in the night, but didn't recognize it until Eli told him. Next time you hear it, say, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." When God is preparing something big in your life, he often sends the message ahead of time, again and again, so you don't miss it. So if the same theme keeps appearing in your life, hope, healing, restoration, faith, pause and listen. God is speaking. Your miracle may already be in motion. So now you might be asking, if I recognize these signs in my life, what should I do next? How can I prepare my heart for the miracle God is unfolding? The answer begins with positioning your heart, leaning in with faith, even when the outcome is still unseen. First, stay rooted in prayer. Even when the heavens feel silent, keep the conversation going. Prayer isn't just a way to request answers. It's how we stay connected to the heart of God. In those quiet moments, trust that he's listening, working, and drawing you closer to him. Next, hold tightly to hope. Your circumstances may shift, but let your faith remain anchored. Refuse to let what you see around you determine what you believe within you. Instead, allow your faith to reshape how you view your current situation. Remember, hope is the soil where miracles take root. Then, be faithful where you are. Just like Ruth, who gleaned in the fields with no idea that redemption was walking toward her, serve diligently in the small places. Your consistency, your obedience, your heart of service, God sees it all, even when others don't. Speak life over your circumstances. Don't just wish for a miracle. Declare God's promises with confidence. Speak as if the answer is already on the way, because in many ways, it is. Your words have power. Let them reflect your trust in God's faithfulness. And finally, rest in his perfect timing. Miracles rarely arrive according to our clocks, but they always arrive right on time. Trust the process. Even when the waiting feels long, know that God is never late. Prepare your heart by staying faithful, hopeful, and expectant, because the miracle is already in motion. You may be standing at the edge of your own Red Sea. You may feel tired, confused, or forgotten. But don't give up. Don't walk away now, because what feels like the end may actually be the beginning of something incredible. Remember these signs: a deep surrender, unexpected blessings, a shift in perspective, supernatural peace, repeated messages of hope. These are not random. These are holy indicators. God is moving. Your miracle is not just possible, it's already in progress. So take heart, beloved. God sees you. He knows your name, and he's working behind the scenes right now, preparing a miracle tailored just for you. Stay expectant, stay faithful, and when that miracle comes, you'll look back and realize God was there all along. If you found this message uplifting, consider sharing it with someone who needs a reminder that God is still in the miracle-working business. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more inspiring stories from the Bible that will build your faith and stir your soul. Until next time, keep believing. Your miracle is on the way.